Welcome back, all. It's time to take down my popsicle stick bridge and see if this thing's stuck to the wall. It feels adhered. Alright, onto the sides. Peel back the blue stuff a bit. And let's test fit. Slips in there. There we go. Alright, pretty nice fit. It looks like somebody didn't put enough wood here. How to fix that? You see how that kind of interlocks there in the corner. Before we put it in for good, there are these peel and stick gaskets that'll go right here. So I'll try to remember that. Now let's figure for the hole cutting. Looks like we've got ourselves a deflect. Always remember to check for those before now. Well, while we wait for a decision on that matter, yesterday we found out that we need to replace this faucet. We assumed it was good because it was in use before. But when I went to use the sprayer valve screwed up. It shuts off the flow to the faucet, but no sprayer. And the line is clear, and despite plenty of fiddling with the air compressor, it will not go. So it's not worth any more. Let's get it out of there. So first, we loosen this sprayer hose from the center here. Happens to be a threaded connection in this case, being an older one. Many today will have an O-ring connection with retaining clips that snap in and out of place. There we go. Loosen the supply connections we made before. Yes, I turned off the valves. And then we just loosen these retaining nuts. Sounds easy, eh? With a little help from the wrench, it was. It almost never happens. And we loosen the old sprayer holder the same way. In theory. Oh, that's broken. Maybe we'll break it some more. Anyway, out comes the faucet. We're ready for that new one that'll surely be arriving any moment. One can fiddle with this thing later. It's not dead yet. 6-inch centers on a kitchen sink. I've never seen such a thing. Glad somebody already did the adaptation for me. There we go. Alright. Well, we know we've got to replace this with a 2x6. So let's cut our clearance. That's a bread knife there. Peel, peel, peel. Got my loosener. So let's prepare some cutting tools for these holes here. Now, as I explained in a previous video when I put this valve in, for this type of an installation with the thin shower wall here of this cheapish surround, you leave the plaster guard in, if it's flush with the framing, to be a rear support for the shower wall. So we only need to cut a hole large enough to clear these mounting screws, which looks like a 2.5 would be wonderful. That's a standard hole saw size, so we'll get that. And then here, I think I'll use a 1 3/8 to give a little room here, because the tub spout will cover quite a bit more than that. Alright. The 2.5. And the 1 3/8. Oh, that's large arbor. Okay, measuring 5 or 6 times here from our mating surface and taking into account a little space for the weather stripping that will go in there to the center here, because we only get to do this once, and then we have to buy a new house and admit to nothing. 11 and 11/16. And that could sure work for that one too. Let me see here, more like 3/4 on that one. And upward, again allowing a little space, just because these two surfaces are not going to be perfectly flat. 8 3/4. And look at that, 18 3/4. Right, 18 3/4. And 11 3/4. Yep. Alright, now after spending several hours verifying those measurements and transferring the responsibility to other people, I said 13 8/4 and you agreed with me. We will drill a small pilot hole so that our hole saws don't wander. If we can keep the small drill from wandering. This dull hole saw is nice for this because it's not so aggressive. Lovely. Now test fitting that. You can see it's going to work. There's a lot of leeway on this one. they're hardly ever perfect. You can see I did not allow enough for the gap on the bottom, as this is touching here in front, and that's as low as it's going to go. This one will work. That's why you test repeatedly. Now I can adjust this hole a little bit before I do it. Okay, adjusting the hole slightly. Let go. There we are. And there, that's a lot nicer than it would have been. Almost perfect there. And our 2x6 has just arrived. We got a measurement there. Well, that's non-standard. 91 and 13/16. Here is the most important trick in carpentry. Applies to a million situations. A lovely 2x6. You will notice our lack of a vapor barrier here. Reason being, this is an old house and many areas don't even have insulation. So an incomplete vapor barrier can become a vapor trap. So if you can't do it right, best to just let it breathe. Since this defect is so near the edge, we've decided to cut away the protruding part and caulk over it. It will blend in and look good enough for this application. And even if water gets through way down here, it will be collected by the tub flange and drain back out. Apply that weather stripping now. And we can save this piece for the windows in your doghouse. Aha! Profit! Okay, now that everything seems to fit nicely, I use this position to recut our popsicle sticks so that they will just wedge in here with some other sticks on the end here to spread the load out, but to hold this into the glue on our single stud on each side in the same way as the assembly I did for the back. Something like that. In this case, kind of splitting the difference in these studs not lining up with each other. A little bit away from the stud is okay as long as you don't distort this panel. And just firmly enough so it doesn't come off the glue. Now we'll take it down. Alright. Now that everything is evened up, time for screws. And there is a new faucet with option 2, soap dispenser. Thanks for watching.